Hello, my name is Amy Maljabasan from Object Research Systems. In this video, we are going to see how we can segment an image data using the Deep Trainer tool in Dragonfly software. Let's get started. The first step is to load the dataset that we wish to segment. For that, navigate to the File menu and click on Import Image Files. A new window called Import Datasets will pop up. Here, you can use either Add or Open folder to load your dataset. Click on Add and navigate to the folder that contains all your files and use Ctrl A to select everything and click Open. Here I have a stack of TIFF files. There, scroll down, you see there are total 832 slices. Go to Next. You feed the dataset name as you wish here. I'm going to give here denim fabric input as the dataset name. There are few other options you need to worry about for now, so you can just click on Finish. Alright, the dataset loaded here is a CT scan of denim fabric which is collected by Rigaku Nano 3DX X-ray microscope. In this specific dataset, we are interested in segmenting two main regions. One is cluster of large fibers and the other one is the cluster of small fibers. You can visualize these clusters much more precise in a 3D rendering. So right click, go to 3D. It's a 3D rendering view. You can use left click to rotate the data freely in 3D views. Use the window leveling option to adjust the intensity range a bit. Now the clusters are more visible. The one you see here and something over here on the other side and something in the middle are the clusters of small fibers, and the others are the here are the clusters of large fibers. Alright. Let's reset the window leveling values and reset the data and go back to my original image plane. In order to train a neural network for segmentation, we need a training input data and the corresponding target data. The target data is the region of interest. For our case, the clusters of large and small fibers. However, for this specific input data, we don't have the target data to feed the neural network. So the next step is to prepare the target data, or we call it as multi-ROIs. There are 832 slices in total, out of which we are going to use only 6 slices for training. Here, I'm going to choose the first slice, and every 100th slice up to 500. Let's see how we can select those 6 slices. Before getting to there, make sure you select the dataset and you choose the image plane. Right click in the XY view. Now you're in the XY view. Right click in the XY view. Click on Show Marked Slices indicator. A small square box will appear in the bottom right corner of the screen. This will help you to mark the slices. As I said, here we are going to use the first slice, so I can just drag vertically down here, so I can choose the slice number 1 and then mark this slice. And the next slice I'm going to choose for training is slice number 100. So, and then I'm going to mark this slice, and the next slice is 200. So I'm going to choose 200, and there are other options to choose. You can directly go to the particular slice you need. Under Scene View Orientation panel, there are 3 tabs. If you go to the Slice tab, you can directly enter the slice number where you want it to go. So 300. So I can just enter 300 here. Click on Apply. It will take you to the slice number 300. So click here. And then I wanted to go to slice number 400. I enter here. So it takes me to 400. So I click on this, and then following that, this is the final slice that I wanted to use it for training. So this is my 500 slice, so I mark the slices. So I have marked total 6 slices that I can use it for training. So how do I create a new data set with the help? So right click over here, you will see an option called new data set from marked slices. So this will create a new data set which has only 6 slices from the 832 slices. So I'm going to rename this as my training input. My training input. All right. So you can now just turn off your full complete stack, which has total 832 slices, and you can turn on the selected slices for training, so which has only 6 slices, which is the first slice and every 100th slice up to 500. All right. So you have only 6 slices now we are using for training. And the next step, we wanted to prepare training output or training target, or we call it as multi ROI. Let's see how we can create a multi ROIs or like a region of interest. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. All right, so go to segment tab. You have 3 options here: ROI tools, ROI painter, segment with classifier. First, expand the ROI tools if it's not already been expanded. So just expand it. And you will see defined range. So defined range. And then use the slider to select approximately the lower threshold around 75. Use the slider, or you can just choose and whatever. And click on add to new button at the bottom of the range panel and name this as lash fibers. Also, you can use different colors by clicking on here. I am going to choose bright blue. All right, so this is my newly created ROIs. So, and then I can uncheck the defined range. Okay, so now I have large fibers. I wanted to create another ROI for small fibers. So click on new under basic panel. So go here, click on new. It will pop up a new region of interest window. So create a new ROI, name it as small fibers. And then if you want whatever color, I prefer green here. So I'm going to choose green. And with the same geometry as lash fibers, and then click on OK. So I create 2 ROIs here. I have created 2 ROIs here, and now I have to use the ROI painter tools to paint or to color the small fibers. Let's see how we can do it. So I can just shrink this ROI tools. I don't need it anymore. So I go here in ROI painter. So before that, we have to first click once to select the small fibers and use control click to select large fibers. You will see A and B will appear at the on its right. All right, so go and then enable this brush tool. And then you will see 2 kinds of brush. One is round brush and the other one is square brush. And please make sure this exclusive is checked, and then also click the circle brush button. Alright, now we are going to paint a small fibers over here. So for that, I'm going to tell you how to paint. So hold down your control key. And you can use your mouse wheel to change your brush size. You can either increase or you can decrease your brush size using your mouse wheel. Also, please make sure you hold the control key. and then you can drag. So I'm gonna spot the small fibers. Here is my small fibers on this particular slice. I'm gonna paint it over here. You can also zoom in, and also you can zoom it, and so I'm gonna paint this for all the 6 slices. I'm gonna paint all the, okay, here I made a mistake. It came little out of that large. So if you wanted to erase that, you can hold down the shift key and use the same brush tool to erase that specific, the mistakes that you have made. Here again hold down the control key and you can drag this specific brush to paint over here and here, and then you can use it here, paint it. All right, so you have to do this for all the slices. All right, now all of my 6 training slices are painted. So use the escape button to get rid of the brush. So the next step is to create a multi ROI. So we have 2 ROIs, one is small fibers and the other one is large fibers. So we can combine these ROIs into multi ROIs for training. So with the both ROIs selected, right click, you will see a menu called create multi ROI from ROIs. Click on that. It creates a new multi ROI. So you can rename this as my training output. My training output. All right, so now we are ready for the deep trainer tool. Here we have your training input and your training output. Right, so go to tools, open up the deep learning tool. Here there is a button new and import from Keras. Now we are going to generate a new model, so click on new. So here you have list of your deep model architectures. So we are going to choose, right now I'm going to choose unit architecture. It's one of the good architecture, deep learning architectures developed for biomedical image segmentation. It generally works well for all kind of segmentation tasks. So we use unit here. And then the model type is multi-label segmentation. It depends on the number of classes that you are going to segment. I have 3 classes, so I use multi-label segmentation. So the class count, I have large fibers, small fibers, and one more, it's a background. So class count is 3. Input data set count is 1. Name, I can give whatever name as you wish. I'm going to give here my denim fabric. Okay, on first layer filter count and unit levels I use is 5. Let's generate a model. It takes few seconds to generate. Alright, it's generated successfully. You get a comment. Okay, close. So here is the unit model. It's a structure of unit. It's a shape of you. This is the structure of unit. So alright, so now as you see here, the model name, it takes unit and the and then denim fabric, and the number of classes. NS3 is the model type. All right, so let's go here. You have go to training. You need to feed the input and output for segmentation. So first take the input. So here denim fabric, it has total 832 slices. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my training input, which has only 6 slices, and the my training output, that is the multi ROIs that I created. So is the output. So I'm going to use symbol or data augmentation techniques, just flip horizontal and flip vertical. So I'm going to disable all these other things. And validation, here I'm going to use 20% of my validation. It depends on the availability of the data set. You can increase or either decrease the number of validation percentage. I'm going to use 20% of my training data. And the next tab you see is the training parameters. Okay, so here is the input or patch size during training. So all the training data is like divided into like a small number of 2D patches. So the size of the patches that we are going to given here, I'm going to give here 128, and then for stride to input ratio, it's I'm gonna set this as 0.5. So if it is 0.5, we are when you take a patch of input data, we are just there is a 50% of overlap between the first patch and the next patch. So that's the stride to input ratio. And epochs number, I'm going to choose here 50, the number of epochs to be used. So batch size, here I have 32. So make sure your memory ratio falls below 1, and it appears green. So like right, if I increase my patch size, you will see it becomes red and it goes like a bit, it may cause some issues. So it's better always to have this estimated memory ratio is below 1, it falls below 1. All right, so the optimization parameter that I use, ADA delta. So here are some advanced settings. We are not going to take care of this in this video, so I'm gonna just train this and see what's gonna happen. So I feed it for 50 epochs, so it may take some time. We will wait until it's finished. All right. Alright, it's done. It takes approximately like 10-15 minutes to complete all the epochs. Click on OK here. And now before apply, you can just save the model first. So it's saving deep model. It's saved. Alright, now let's turn off all my dataset except the denim fabric input, so which has total, when you click on it, it has total 832 slices. Okay, let's preview on this dataset and see how the trained result is gonna be. Okay, all right, so here is an option called preview. Go here, you have two data set. One is denim fabric input, my training input. This my training input is the data set that we used for training, and then let's test it on this data set, denim fabric input. So in denim fabric input, we have selected only 6 slices. So now we are in the slice number 417. This is not at all used for training. So let's test this on this training data set. Sorry, on this testing data set. Okay, let's go here and apply. Just click on apply. It takes wow, it's a good result. So as you see here, the small fibers are perfectly segmented, and this is the large clusters. The results are pretty good. It's really good results. Okay, got the excellent result. And let's apply on other somewhere in 285, slice number 285, and wow, this is also again okay. So the trained model gave us an excellent result. So now we are trying to apply this trained model on a complete stack, like a full 832 slices. Okay, let's apply to the full stack and see how the results. So again, just to make sure we save the deep model. Alright, so we close this. On the segmentation tab, go to the segmentation tab. You see an option. There are 3 options as I said. So expand the segment with classifier. Alright, segment with classifier. Click on the data set. Now I'm going to segment the data set which has total 832 slices. So I'm going to click first, select the data set, and go here. You can see now the dataset, selected dataset is denim fabric input, this one, the one that I have selected. And the segmentation model, I have only one model, which is here. It shows only the trained model. So the model that which is trained is in a denim fabric. I'm going to choose this because I have only one. So I'm going to use segment to apply to the full stack. It takes few seconds. It has to go from the first slice to slice number 832. Let's see. Alright, we are closer, 100%. Alright, so here is the segmentation result. You just see here, this I turned off all the remaining data sets. So here is the segmentation results that I got. Segmentation unit train. As you see from the very beginning, it's really we got a super excited result. It's really interesting. So you can look that in 3D, and you can use little window leveling. You can just reduce the bit intensity, and okay, I won't train it. So you see how this particular small fibers are segmented, and you can also increase the contrast. You can also increase the contrast a bit. How the small clusters and the big clusters are segmented using deep learning. That's it. That's the end of deep learning demonstration. Thank you for listening.